Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Seekers of the Supernatural. I'm your moderator, Tony Spera. I know I've been away for a little while. I haven't been personally giving any commentary or narratives on the channel at all, but I've been a little busy lately with different cases, with answering a lot of emails. But I found this in the archives. Something like my red glasses. My wife got these for me. They're easy peasy. That's what they're called. But they're good. They last for a long time. They're reading glasses. But let me read something to you. It's an article, and it mentions, of course, it's all about Ed Warren and his view. It says Catholic, Jewish, and Protestant clergymen aren't doing their job when it comes to exorcising demons. A respected expert on paranormal psychology who exorcises ghosts is charged. Well, that part right there is not true. Ed does not exorcise ghosts. Many clergymen would make a good car salesman or businessman, but as far as bringing help or comfort to their flock, they're a great disappointment, related Ed Warren, an East Coast expert on ghosts, poltergeist, and other psychic phenomena, whose column, Ghost Hunting Today, is a weekly Tatler feature. So Ed had a little weekly column in a newspaper years ago called the Tatler. There's a tremendous upsurge of interest in black magic, so much so that even the Pope felt moved to remind people the devil does exist, he explained. It's been the practice in highly civilized societies to assume Satan died for good with the witches of Salem. Unfortunately, there is more evil activated by the devil today than the clergy will admit. That's from Ed. Each year, hundreds of persons request the ghost-chasing abilities of Warren and his wife, Lorraine. I can recognize through my 25 years of experience which of them are obsessed or actually possessed, or which of them are only mentally disturbed. But priests are refusing to believe exorcism is necessary in this modern age. I'm a Roman Catholic, but the liberalism in the Catholic Church has made me lose faith in the priesthood. All they want to do is live like laymen, Warren charged. One Bridgeport, Connecticut priest I asked to perform an exorcism practically told me that there was no such thing as Satan. I'm sick and tired of telling men of God that there is a devil. That's quoting Ed. I was told to present him with scientific evidence that one woman was possessed by evil spirits, but when we asked the priest to present scientific proof that God exists, he had no answer. The priest, Hunter recounted. Why do I have to spend my time trying to convince priests, ministers, and rabbis that the devil exists? It's ridiculous. Warren owns extensive files of cases of genuine possession, he said, but all I can do is expose the danger. It's up to the clergy to take over from there, but they're refusing to do so. And then, I think this is a continuation. They tell me if they started exercising on a grand scale, they would be inundated with people. But isn't that their job? He asked. Surely that proves guidance in this field is needed. While some clergymen have argued that the devil does not exist, Pope Paul VI, in a recent statement, reminded his followers Satan is a working force in the world today. He is a dark and enemy agent, a terrible, mysterious, fearsome reality, a live, spiritual, perverted, and perverting being who sows errors and misfortune in human history, the Pope declared. 20th century man puts too much faith in the sciences to explain evil, he said. Man has lost his conception of supernatural power because of it. But many clergymen still think of Satan as a name used for a mythological feature, a mythical being, rather than a real one, Warren cautioned. That's why I'm having a hard time persuading the church that people need help, he related. The priests seem to think the devil isn't real. My work only can go as far as bringing home to the public that Satan is around, that he really does possess humans, but I can't cure them. That's the church's job. So that was Ed's fight all along for years and years. Ed had arguments with the clergy because they didn't believe that the devil was a problem. And I think today it's the same way, that the church will say one thing on one side of their mouth and another thing when reality sets in. In other words, they'll say, yeah, we have exorcists in the Vatican. They're Vatican trained. They're trained in Rome. And then when you ask for an exorcism, they're all over the place. They're like, well, we're not sure that he's possessed. What kind of proof do you have that he's possessed? And it's tough. It's tough to really convince a priest to do an exorcism today. And I think that the devil is on a pathway to winning. He's on a pathway to winning. In other words, what I mean is our society is turning more towards demonic thoughts, demonic enterprises, demonic ways of thinking, or evil ways of thinking, I should say. Rather than loving thy neighbor, we're hating our neighbor. That's not right. Rather than loving each other, we're despising each other. We're looking to place blame on others. There's no room for that. And I think that as far as the devil is concerned, the devil is happy with the way we're acting. And that's sad. That's pretty sad. You know, I'm going to go somewhere on the 16th of October with my crew, my team of experts, Dan Rivera, Eric Vitale, Chris Galoran, Rick Clark, Jimmy Pettinito, Tim Dalton, myself. We're going to go to the Conjuring House in Harrisville, Rhode Island. And there, we're going to try to determine, is there evil there? Is there a devil there? Has the devil been inhabiting that locale? Has it left its mark? There are ways to find out. There are ways. And probably one of the ways that I'm going to use is religious provocation. I'm going to ask in the name of God, or command in the name of God, for what's there to reveal his identity to me. We have tech guys coming, which is Eric and Tim. They have a lot of electronic equipment that they're going to set up to see if they can capture anything in a scientific fashion, I should say. But when you go into a haunted location, you have to go in, first of all, with an open mind. That's number one. But you also have to go in with knowledge. Without knowledge, you're going in blindly. What I mean by knowledge is not necessarily the history of the house, because that can be tainted by people's recollections. I'm talking about knowledge of the paranormal, knowledge of the supernatural realm. In other words, being able to determine if a entity that may be there is human or inhuman. Is it demonic? Is it a devil? And there are ways to know this, and that's what we're going to try to determine. I know a lot of people make comments that there is no such thing as human earthbound spirits. Well, I don't agree. I strongly disagree with that. And they'll say it's a devil in disguise. No, it's not. Because a devil in disguise wouldn't remain earthbound and be benign for many, many years in a house. We've had people tell us that this spirit was lingering around the house for 30 and 40 years and never did anything of an evil nature. It was just a lighthearted entity that was in the house, something that never bothered them. A demonic entity doesn't want to hang around a person and do nothing for years. A demonic entity doesn't play that game. Demonic entity wants gratification that is getting to you, getting to your soul. So when they say that, well, it's the devil in disguise, just making like it's human, that's not true. Because demonic entities want to cause havoc, cause confusion, cause chaos, cause divisiveness in your life. So if you have a ghost in your house, and we've heard of a lot of people relate to us, oh, I've had a ghost for 30 years. Does he bother you? No, he doesn't bother me, but I know he's here. That's not a devil. That's not infestation. That's not oppression. The person's thoughts aren't oppressed. There's no knockings and rapping sounds. Just once in a while they'll hear something move, see something move. That's not it. It has to be sustained. It has to be an oppressed feeling that you have. Your thoughts, like I said, that aren't your own. A feeling of evil around you. You would feel that presence around you, that evil presence. You know, you ever been in the presence of a really nice person, a very friendly, peaceful person? You could feel it. But when you're in the presence of someone, I'm talking a human person now, a live person, that's evil or has evil intent, you could tell. You could sense something dark about that person. Well, personify that, 50 times. And that's the feeling that you're going to have in a haunted location. So when we walk into the Conjuring house on October 16th, the Harrisville, Rhode Island house, the house that the Conjuring movie was based on, we're going to look for evil. We're going to look for earthbound. We're going to try to determine what was there and what perhaps is still there. By me commanding what's there to reveal its identity in the name of God, I might have a chance of it telling who it is, or what it is, or what its intention is. Doesn't mean we're going to be successful, though. We could be there. You could be in a house for weeks on end, and nothing happens. But that entity may try to break you down mentally. So that's something you need to watch out for also. Hi there. Hi, Rosebud. You want to say hi to people? This is Rosebud. Hey, Rosie. Nice little cat. So that's what we're going to do on the 16th of October, 2020. And I'm going to live stream some of it on YouTube. I'm not going to live stream the whole thing, but I'm going to live stream portions of it to show you what we're doing, what we're trying to gather as far as information. The whole intent of our team, and should be of all teams, is to gather and document and collect and sift through evidence, find proper evidence to bring to the authorities, and not the police, the clergy. But that's where the roadblocks a lot of times happen, where we bring this evidence to the clergy and they sit on it, they do nothing with it. Or they'll say, yeah, we looked at it, but we don't think it's warranted to go in and perform any kind of a ceremony. That's why sometimes we ourselves will do a simple blessing of a house ourselves, which God allows us to do as faithful Christians. So that's what we're going to do when we go there. We're going to determine what's there, try to determine what's there, and if we need to, we'll bring the evidence to the clergy. Now, the owner of the house now, I'm not even positive of his name now because I didn't set this up. He's a nice guy. I met him once, but I forget his name. I'm going to ask him if he's there. I don't know if he's going to let us be there alone or if he's going to be with us. I'm going to ask him certain questions. I'm going to ask him his beliefs. And, of course, I'm going to interview him, and our team will interview him if he's there, as to what he has experienced there. And, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that just because that house was terribly haunted once does not mean that a new family who moves in will be haunted. That's where the disconnect happens with people, where they'll say to us, or they'll put in an article, well, like the Amityville house, they'll say, well, the people moved in there, nothing happened to them. They report absolutely zero, so that house is not haunted. That's not true. Because there are haunted houses, number one, and then there are haunted people. So sometimes it's the people who cause the haunting. It's the aura that they generate, where the evil that might be there, or the spirits that might be around, or through conjuring practices are there, are attracted to that person's aura. In other words, I could walk into the conjuring house, feel absolutely nothing will happen to me. But a partner, a team member, may feel very, very ill. He may feel like he's being oppressed. He may feel like he's experiencing things. Why? Is he different than me? Yes. Well, he's different than me because his aura is different. his supernatural glow around his body is different. And the spirit is attracted to him and his aura, or her aura, and not mine. Like attracts like in the spirit realm. So depending on the aura of the person, what kind of aura they're generating will determine to a great extent if a spirit is attracted to that person, to that human being. Just like when you walk into a party. When you were a teenager, you walked into a dance party or a house party, or even now, and you walk in, there's a lot of people that you don't know. You feel alone. You feel, geez, what am I doing here? And you're standing in a corner. No clicking. You're not clicking with anybody. And suddenly you're around the corner and you see a person. And somehow, some way, you feel a rapport. An instant rapport with that person. A connection of some sort with that person. And then you begin to speak to them and you get along very well. That is like attracts like. Well, in the spirit realm, like attracts like as well. Now, I'm not saying that the spirit that may be attracted to my team member might be an evil spirit because my team member is evil. No. It's something about the aura that attracts that spirit, be it a human spirit or an evil spirit. And the evil spirit could be attracted to that team member because it sees a weakness in the aura. It determines that it can get through to that person and perhaps not to me or another member because our aura is so strong and is protected. So these are all variable things that you can't nail 100%. But like I said, 10 guys, 10 people, it's going to be 10 people in that house. Only maybe one experiences something. Maybe we all do. Maybe the spirits just want us all out of there. And it's not attracted to the aura. They're repelled by our aura and they don't want us there. So that's another consideration when you walk into a haunted location. And I suggest that anyone who's interested in hauntings and learning more about haunted locations, you protect yourselves. How am I going to protect myself before I walk into that conjuring house? I've been to that house one other time, only for a short time, only moments. What I am going to do is be in a state of grace. That means I'm going to say a confession to a clergyman. I'm going to be perfectly honest. That means I'm going to, the day before, and maybe 2 days before, which would start tomorrow then, because tomorrow is Wednesday, fast. I'm not even going to have anything to eat, just some liquids. That's a purification method that I use when I go into a place that I'm really unsure of. And I'm going to say prayers to my Creator, God, to protect me, to keep all of us safe in that house. I'm going to bring religious artifacts with me that are blessed, medals, crucifix. I'm going to bring holy water. I'm going to bring blessed pontifical incense with me. If the owner allows me to burn it, I'm going to burn it, which will infuse the house. What will that really do? Will that really help us? Well, I'll do that near the end if it's allowed, because I want to leave the house as pure as I can. Because you don't know, we could have drawn something there through one of our auras too. We could have drawn something there from a previous case. Who knows? We don't know. These things are very conniving, Spirits are very clever. I'm talking about evil spirits. They're very clever. They're very conniving. And they do, yes, come in the guise of something good. That's why we test them. They can come in the guise of your grandmother, my mother, my brother, my father, or some other friendly person, spirit. But we'll test that. We'll test that. And how we'll test that is through religious means. In other words, in the name of Jesus Christ and the blood of Christ, I command you to reveal your true identity. And we'll use religious artifacts too, because most, if not all, encounters that we've had with evil entities have a great aversion to religious objects and religious prayer. and anything holy. So that's another test when we say prayers in the house to see if there's any reactions. So that's our suit of armor that we're going to wear. We're going to be in a state of grace, at least I am. I encourage my team members to do likewise. I can't make them, but I could protect them also myself by envisioning them in the white light all around their bodies, praying to God for their protection as well. So you wear the suit of armor, the state of grace, the confession, the fasting, the prayers, the belief in the Lord, the sacramentals that I would carry with me. All those things are going to help me in my quest to find out what's there, and my team members. I have some very talented members on my team. Rick Clark and Jim Petnito have worked with the Warrens, Ed, Lorraine, and me since the mid-90s, since the 1990s. So they've been on many cases. They know how to act. They know what to do. They know how to respond. And Eric Vitale is very knowledgeable too. Dan Rivera is an expert in not only paranormal occurrences like this, also in Santeria, which is a religion that has a cultist flair to it, let's put it that way. He knows more about Santeria than I do. But we're going to go in there with faith, true faith, the knowledge that we're doing good. We're not going there to stir up anything. We're going there to find out if anything's there. And if it's something there that's not good, we're going to try to expel it out of there as best we know how, to go back to where it came from. You know, when you expel something or exorcise something from somewhere, you can't kill it. Remember that you cannot destroy it. You know how many people have said to me, why don't you bury the doll? Why don't you put it underwater? That doesn't do anything. Because if we have that captive, if that thing is captive right now, that's the way we want to keep it. Burning it would only allow the spirit within to just flee and go wherever it wants. I don't know all the answers. I don't even know if my doll, the Annabelle doll that I have, has a spirit still within it. But I'm not going to take the chance of saying, oh, it's not there anymore. It's somewhere else. So the doll's fine. You can touch it. No, I don't know that for sure. Like I said, spirits are conniving, and they want to cause disinformation. They want you to do things that are not right. So even though that spirit could have left, it could also come back. When you exorcise a demon from a person and that it leaves, where do you think it goes? It goes back to where it came from, right? But depending on the strength of the demon, it can come back to haunt again, to cause havoc again. So you always have to be on guard. Just because you got rid of it once doesn't mean it can't come back, or another devil come back. Well, I have things I have to do today. I really appreciate all the comments that I've gotten. I have some great comments. I have some great people on my team on YouTube. I've gotten so many good responses, and I've learned things from your comments too. So keep them coming. Some comments I didn't know certain things that you taught me. Other comments I know are incorrect, so I try to correct people when I can. Like I said before, I don't have all the answers, but I'm on a quest to find as many answers as I can, and on a quest to impart whatever knowledge I can to you guys, so you're safe too. So you can go out and spread the word that evil is real, that the devil exists, not to mess with it, not to dabble in occult practices, not to practice witchcraft, black witchcraft or Satanism, but to follow God's lead. That's what we want you to do, follow God's lead. So I think for now I'm going to end this and hang out maybe just for a few minutes more with Rosebud. And there's also Daisy in the house, which I give medication to every day. Well, I have Liz comes in too. She's a girl that comes in every other week to give medication to the wonderful cat we have, Daisy. It's Lorraine's cat. We promised Lorraine years ago that we would never abandon her pets, and we won't. sometimes you have to do things that are hard to do, that you don't want to do. Like, do you think I want to really drive 45 minutes each way twice a day? That's, how many minutes is that? 45 each way. It's 90 minutes once in the morning and 90 minutes in the afternoon to give medication to Daisy. But I do it, first of all, because I love animals, and second of all, because I respect Lorraine and her wishes. I would never do anything to harm these animals. And that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. Do no harm, like a doctor's oath. Do no harm to others. Do no harm to animals. And you'll feel a lot better about yourself. You really will. There's no amount of money in the world that can make me hurt an animal for no reason. The only reason I ever would is if I was being attacked and about to be killed. Then I would. Other than that, never. Never. You know why? See this animal right here? It's purring. This animal is pure of heart. A lot more pure of heart than I am. And this animal here does not know greed, does not know envy, does not know hatred. Really doesn't. This animal just craves love. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tony Spera. Goodbye.